So this is the first part of my 9/11 series, and I just wanted it to be about Israel. It might be a little bit short, but as of the last few years at least, it seems like anti-Semitism and all the world's ills on Zionists and all that stuff is getting real big. Alt-right is big. All this stuff. So I just wanted to point out that Israel really didn't have anything to do with 9/11. And um, now, I mean, after I go over this, you could always say, Mossad, maybe they used, a remote control to fly the planes, and maybe the trail that they left was to trail it back to the Arabs. You could always dig and build a new conspiracy theory and connect dots where there's not supposed to be dots. But that's just how the mind works sometimes. People love a good conspiracy theory, and but I'll point this out. In August 2001, the Israeli Mossad gives the CIA a list of 19 terrorists living in the U.S. and says that they appear to be planning to carry out an attack in the near future. So there you go. They warned us about these people. So I mean, you can't really hate on them and say that they caused this. I mean, unless if you have some real evidence. The fact that they warned us is fantastic. Um, and when I'm done with this series, all the puzzles will seem together. At the end of this video, though, it'll leave you with some more questions. But check this out. It was reported that Mossad informed the Federal Bureau of Investigations and CIA in August 2001 that as many as 200 terrorists were slipping into the United States and planning a major assault on the United States. The Israeli intelligence agency allegedly cautioned the FBI that it had picked up indication of a large-scale target in the United States and that Americans would be very vulnerable. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. So, there's this story too. In September 2001, the New York Times and Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that 4 hours after the attack, the FBI arrested 5 Israelis who had been filming the smoking skyline from the roof of a white van in the parking lot of an apartment building for puzzling behavior. They were charged with illegally residing in the United States and working there without permits. The Israelis were said to have been videotaping the disaster with what was interpreted as cries of joy and mockery. Police found the van and a search revealed $4,700 in cash hidden, along with foreign passports and a box cutter, which aroused suspicion and led to the detention of the occupants. The men were held in detention for more than 2 months, during which time they were subjected to interrogation and lie detector tests before being deported back to Israel. One of the men refused to take the test for 10 weeks and then failed it. So it turns out that these people were actually Israeli spies, and they were actually keeping an eye on these Arabs. And so I don't know if these specific ones were watching these Arabs, but I'm sure they were part of a bigger network that was watching the Arabs. But I don't know that for a fact. But they were never charged with any connection to these Arabs. So there's that. So you can't really draw a line. Now, where this actual conspiracy theory from to blame Zionism, one of the big places, one of the starts for that conspiracy theory is this. It says Iran President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, goddamn hard fucking word to say, said in the August 2010 speech that no Zionists were killed in the attacks since, according to him, One day earlier, they were told not to go to their workplace. He also remarked, "What was the story of September 11th? During 5 to 6 days and with aid of the media, they created and prepared public opinion so that everyone considered an attack on Afghanistan and Iraq. However, contrary to such conspiracy theories about Jews being warned not to go to work that day, the number of Jews who died in the attacks is variously estimated at between 270 and 400, while a few Israelis died in the attack as well." So, Iran says blame the Jews, no Jews were hurt, and, it turns out that that was just a bold-faced lie. So, I mean, there's a really a prime example of where this conspiracy theory came from. So, yeah, that's basically all that there is when it comes to Israelis' involvement in 9/11. I don't believe they did it, and I believe that a lot of this investigation that they did turned out to be right. I mean, a lot of countries warned the United States, including Israel, that these terrorists were in the United States and that there was a plan, and it's pretty incredible. We had warnings for years, technically. But I'll get to that in the next video. So, there you go. Israel really wasn't involved in 9/11.